honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who will teach well. And hearty shalom to the elect. All right, it's your brother Karate out back with another lesson through the spirit, probably Yahweh Shemel Shai. And I want to thank you, Yahweh Shemel Shai, for allowing me to do this lesson. Okay. So as you can see on the screen or right here, all right, it's a documentary about what Gad, all right, had went through the North American Indians, okay, and or the parts, some of the tribes of the Northern Kingdom, what they had went through, all right. And I don't own any rights to this. I'm just using it as a point for education. Disclaimer, disclaimer, this is being used as a point for education. I do not intend to make any money off of this, okay? All right, so Trail of Tears, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna read the back of it, okay? And then I'm gonna let some of this play. But I'm gonna read this. This is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 10. It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." All right. Violence that Esau Edom has set out to do unto Jacob starts in the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, when they were tussling and fighting in Rebecca's womb. Okay. And then further after, when the Lord, well, Isaac, which is, Yahweh Shai, he blessed Jacob with the blessings that we're going to receive, and Esau the blessings that he is living in now, okay? All right, and within those blessings, all right, there was a conversation that Esau had within himself. All right, and I'm going to get it. Genesis 27 and 41, it says here, "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then I will slay my brother Jacob." Okay, I want to look at two words in here, the word hate and the word slay. Okay. All right, the word hate, all right, it says, the Hebrew word is
Strong's H 7852. Satam.
satam, okay. It says to hate, oppose oneself to, bear a grudge, retain animosity against, cherish animosity against, okay? And then it says here, down at the bottom in the Strong's definition, to lurk for, i.e. persecute, hate, oppose, self against, okay? And the persecution from Esau to Jacob has continued all the way up until now. The hate, the animosity, okay, the bearing of a grudge, okay, has happened all the way up until now, all right? And if you can't see that the so-called white man hates you, so-called black people, all right, you got a lot of waking up to do, okay, all right? So let me look up this other word for the word slay, all right? And it's harag, okay? It says to kill, slay, murder, destroy, slayer, murderer, all right? That's what Esau is, okay? To kill, destroy, ruin, okay? Destroy, kill, murder, put to death. And that's what he has caused with this this Trail of Tears instance, man, okay? So let me read this. It said, the back of it says, America's darkest period, Jackson's Indian Removal Act, and the forced relocation of the Cherokee Nation to Indian Territory in 1838. Thousands of Cherokees died during the Trail of Tears. Nearly a quarter of the nation, they suffered bound beyond imagination. And when they finally arrived to Indian Territory, they arrived almost without any children and with very few elders. In a way, they arrived with no past or future. All right. So in some of these instances, and throughout the dialogue of the documentary, it was stated that women were giving birth to children and they died along the way. The older women and men were dying. There were all kind of diseases uh, that grew around them when they were at these stockades and or these short rest stops. Okay, because of lack of sanitation. And then it showed an instance in here where they were given food that had maggots and all types of bugs on it. And these were from contracted individuals by the government to help, in a way, help GAD get to that Indian territory that they were, forced to relocate to. All right, when that didn't help them at all, giving them those types of meat and flowers and grains that had diseases from bugs in it. And it was done for those individuals to cut costs and save money. All right, those contracted individuals. All right, for them to save money. But nonetheless, okay, these are all acts of violence. Okay, towards you so-called, ultimately, both tribes. Okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But in this specific outlet, this specific video is towards you Northern Kingdom individuals, specifically GAD, okay? And also it had mentioned in an instance along with the people dying on the roads, it said there was a river of blood left behind when, just roughly paraphrasing, when men and women had to, shake hands of their friends and relatives and leave them to die on the side of the road, okay? Because of this forced migration, all right? But I want to play a little bit of this right here. And Lord, will you learn that this devil, Esau Edom, is never and never will be your friend, okay?
A rare recorded remembrance from a full blood offers simple eloquence to the tragedy of the trail.
Long time we travel on way to new land. People feel bad when they leave old nation. Women cry and make sad wails. Children cry and many men cry, and all look sad like when friends die. But they say nothing.
You see, it said a lot of people died, and women and children and men cried, but kept their heads down because of the deaths of their families and friends, all right? All because of this forced migration.
And just put heads down and keep on going towards west. Many days pass and people die very much.
All right, it said many days passed and a lot of people died. That's what the individual said, okay? And this is all based upon the actions of the so-called white man, him being greedy for land. This is all based upon the actions of what we did in our atrocities against Yahweh Shem Al Shai, all right? Because we provoked the Holy One of Israel to anger when we worship other gods, okay? And the Lord specifically told us not to do that, all right? And Deuteronomy 5, to not worship other gods, all right? But we went ahead and did that anyway. And this portion of history for America, it's a betterment for America, but it's a hindrance for you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native American Indians, because it shows that we are without help and without assistance, all right? But we have Yahweh Shem Al Shai here. We've had the Lord with us forever, but we turned our backs on the Lord, all right? And we had to go through this punishment, all right? We had to get this ass whooping, okay, from the Lord. Let me see. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 25. It says, Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. And thou shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. The Lord scattered us, okay? All right, and this forced migration is part of the scattering of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, okay? And also part of that scattering is And during this little take, during this documentary, the white people were getting intermingled with the Indians, all right, and vice versa. That's also part of scattering, okay, all right. Um, Verse 26, it says, "And thy carcass shall be meat unto the fowls of the air and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away." What do you think happened to those bodies that were of those dead Gadites that walked until they couldn't walk no more? Those babies, those men, those women, those children. Okay, all right. They were left on the side of the road to die, and then the birds of the air and the beasts of the field came to eat up their bodies. Okay. Um, there was something in here with these curses I wanted to get. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 45. It says, "Moreover, all these curses that's written in the book, okay, of Deuteronomy 28th chapter, shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee. Thou shalt be destroyed because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh, thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes which Yahweh commanded thee. And they shall be unto thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not Yahweh thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things." All right, verse 48, it says, "Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee." All right, going into that proclamation that Esau said within himself, that he said he would hate his brother and slay him. Okay, all right. I'm gonna keep reading verse 49. It says, "Thou shalt bring a nation, Salakia, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand." And then going into this earlier in this documentary, they had this program where they would civilize, you know, the Cherokee Indians, okay, into, you know, this American culture, okay, and then they would strip them from their land after they've been culturized into the white man's society by their programs, okay. It says here, continuing in verse 49, it says, "A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand." Verse 50, it says, "A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young." All right, and he didn't do that. Remember, they died on the sides of the roads, okay? They forcing people, young and old and or babies, to walk thousands of miles. All right, in one instance, it said that it took 3 months and or more to get from Georgia to Oklahoma on foot, and they were walking probably 13 to 15 miles a day. Okay, and the cold and the heat, because there were different sections, they were broken down into different sections to make this migration across the land. Okay, but again, let me go back to Obadiah. The land cannot be cleansed. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna play some more.
Sudamich below chance that will live. He's Kiyakiyan, Ea, so will Ale, Joe.
See that? So it says slaves and those Indians were removed. Who you think those slaves were? Those slaves were you so-called Negro, you so-called Negroes, all right, of the Southern Kingdom, all right. Let me grab this in Jeremiah right quick. And this is Jeremiah 50 and 33, which I'm gonna come back and read again. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go." All right, Judah and Ephraim, all right, suffered oppression at the hands of the so-called white man. Okay, all right. Let me just play this through.
Okay, young, ani yawe, ale ani kaman na kayo na ni gisa na ay. Allah ni kang ni yohusan, tadik kaya. Igad dalado ya gayon ande ho. Asen na ko igad again, tu ni yohusan, tu ni stun na ta so siya si ting, ani jalek. Sinuna ni gito. Igad uniluk chahan.
Those stockades where those individuals were forced to live before they went on that trail, a lot of them died there because of those sanitary issues. Okay.
Hati kaya iga unilosan na kaya ina una ni gisa. Asen sa uga na iga losan stana.
You see that? It says at least 1/4, a quarter, all right, of the entire Cherokee Nation perished in the removal process. All right, that's a lot of people, man. Okay, and I can't physically tell you, all right, how many people there were. Okay, but a quarter is that's you 4 quarters is $1. You take out one, that's a significant amount of money. Okay, if you take out a quarter of the nation, that's a significant amount of people. Okay, let me go here. This is Numbers chapter 35 and verse 33. Esau got to pay for those kids that died on the trails. He got to pay for those women that died on the trails. He got to pay for those people that were killed because they fought back. Okay, and he got to pay, man. Okay, he got to pay. All right, this is Numbers 35 and 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, but for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, is going to shed Esau Edom's blood. Okay, Isaiah 63, where it tells you the Lord's garment is full of blood as he was in a wine press. Okay, guess where that's going to come from? All right, him cleansing out, or him destroying America, man. Okay, and you Edomites, y'all's blood is going to be shed to cleanse the land. That's a balance. It equals it out. Okay, all right. But a quarter of the nation died. Okay, during that whole process, that's a lot of people. All right.
Losan stana ugodi tu ni yohusan ani jalaki.
Cherokee were faced with hunger and starvation, and then put this in a context of a lot of deadly diseases that the Cherokees faced both during the Trail of Tears and on arrival in
hunger, starvation, and deadly disease. Esau, Edom, everybody that died from that, you got those 3 categories. You got to pay for that. That blood is on your hands.
In Indian Territory, it created a significant amount of population losses, both in terms of deaths, mortality, but also in terms of births. There were people that weren't born. Fertility went down tremendously as well during those terrible circumstances during the Trail of Tears and immediately thereafter.
The fertility went down for you so-called Negro Latinos, well, for you so-called Northern American Indians during this forced migration. Okay. And that's why I'm gonna leave it, man. Okay, I'm gonna get some more scriptures. I'm gonna go back to Jeremiah. This is because of the things that Esau Edom has done, right? This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 28. It says, "The voice of them that flee and escape out of the vengeance of Yahweh our power, the vengeance of his temple." All right, and to flee and to escape out of Babylon is to change your ways, okay? All right, because fleeing America is not going to stop the judgment from the Lord that the Lord has pronounced for you, okay? It says, "Call together the archers against Babylon, all that bend the bow, camp against it round about." You got these different nations such as Russia, China, North Korea, India, and whomever else that the Lord has set up, all right, to shoot thermonuclear missiles on this place, okay? That's what's going to happen. All right, it says, "Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her works, according to her work, according to all that she hath done. Do unto her, for she hath been proud against Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore her young men shall fall in the streets, and all of her men of war shall be cut off in that day. Saith Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud." And we know the most proud is Esau, man. All right. And then you should hear some of the things that these motherfuckers did as far as Andrew Jackson and his political writings for the Indian Removal Act. Okay. It says verse 31. Says, "Behold, I am against thee, O most proud, saith Yahweh of hosts, for thy day is come that I will visit thee." And we know how the Lord is going to visit this place, all right? With a stretched out arm. He's going to visit it with violence. He's going to visit it with the sword. He's going to visit it with pestilence. He's going to visit it with famine, okay? He's going to visit it with disease. He's going to visit it with war, okay? It says, verse 32, "And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in the cities, and it shall devour him round about." That fire is going to come from those thermonuclear missiles, okay? It says, "Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go." Verse 34 says, "Thy Redeemer is strong, Yahweh of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon." All right? And that's what we're waiting for, man, because of the violence against our brother Jacob, okay? The Trail of Tears, man. Lord, will you edify to the next time. Shalom.